Good afternoon one more time, everyone, and welcome back to the Nutana Curling Club, where we are live covering the 2016 Canadian Mixed Doubles Curling Championship. My name is Sean Joyce. Susan Lang with me at our broadcast location.
Good evening and welcome, curling fans.
We're back for Draw 5. Everybody here now playing their third game of the day. Carrie Tarasoff, running the control panel to my left, has the graphics ready. We've got feature game is the game on sheet 5. Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant are playing against a team from the territories, Northwest Territories. Laura Brown and Nick Kaeser.
Beauty.
And the
Shot.
We're getting into that time, the third draw of the day. But again, these are 18 pools, so you're playing 7-game round robin to get through. The teams are starting to separate a little bit.
so the territories with the hammer here. That was nice opening
What's
shot
that?
from the
Oh, we're good, sorry.
Peterman Gallant duo.
They kind of need a win here to.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
The territories team needs a win here to keep themselves in touch with the rest of the group.
It has been a bit of a tough start here for our champions out of the territories. They've played 2 games already, been involved in some lopsided scores, but they're certainly playing against a level of competition that might not be able to practice against back home. So it's certainly enjoying the opportunity here to see these top-notch curlers.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to talk to them about how many teams they had to play to get through the territory playdowns, but a lot of times, it doesn't matter where they've come from, which territory or province they've come from. Some of those teams are the only ones that have had a chance to play much. They at least played a competition to get out of their province. There's some teams here that are playing their first games of mixed doubles curling this weekend. Now, Brett and Jocelyn did get a chance to play in, I think, 1 or 2 of the Bonspiels that were held this year as well. But again, being so spread out, they certainly probably don't get a chance to practice together much.
I don't expect any lasers.
That's Brett being just a little, not cheeky, but playing to their opposition. Laura here opting to take the 3 rocks in the middle of the rotation here, little deep. As I said, they've had a tough day today, but they have played some of the best curlers in the world in their national mixed doubles championship here. I think any team, no matter who you are, when your first game is Lisa Weigel and John Epping, you know you're in deep. And then when your second game is Stephanie Lott and Steve Laycock, it's a tough day at the shop.
Yeah, they didn't get any favors in their pool at all, did they?
But again, kind of fun. It makes watching the curling on TV that much more relevant when you can say, you know, I've met these people, I've curled against them, I know what they're like, seen them, you know, seen why they're on TV all the time, and it makes for a really great experience.
Yep.
And again, that's the wonderful part about Canadian National Championships, meeting and seeing people from every nook and cranny that this country has to offer.
Well, nothing has gone their way so far this end, but good draw here. Could turn that around in a hurry. Just rubs the top one, but stays frozen on that back stone. It's going to be a tough one to remove.
Turn top.
Jocelyn looking at the sideways slash too. Brett coming down to take a look himself.
You're thinking that, eh?
It's there, but they
Guess
probably
we
lose a
could
couple of
spin.
reds.
I was thinking a little out turn top. Just
Just breaking that freeze there at the back, setting up for the next shot.
Well, and again, it would be rather surrounded by 3 reds still in the forefoot if you could get to the nose of this. That yellow would be looking pretty lonely.
But again, it goes to show how, you know, one good shot can take away an end. So very nice draw in there by Laura.
Boy, if that doesn't rub going by, you'd need at least 2 rocks to even get this one out. You might have needed 3. She got to the pocket.
It would have been very secure.
Yeah.
Little light. Little light, Joss. Sweep that. Sweep the red. Sweep the red. Sweep the red. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Well, very
Now it's
nicely
looking
done.
a little lonelier, a little more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I like can't grip the broom.
Your
Yeah.
gloves are probably like a little like new, like.
Normal?
Well, this is obviously a team that knows each other well. Not a lot of chatting here. Just a quick signal as to what they were going to play. And I think the call, you heard normal weights. So could play this a little bit quieter and try to make sure you get to the inside. Maybe roll across and move that red that was just thrown.
Throwing it out,
She's
eh?
looking for the double, but set that one back. I'm not sure she's going to make contact here.
That's right. She thought she threw it out, but that was a bit more. The slide was up the center
Came
line,
back
and you
eight.
know you're sliding tight, so then you do try to get it back to the broom, and then it just has that outward
I didn't.
motion.
I
That,
could keep
and
it
with
straighter.
nice
I think you
strong
just
weight
go in
like
here.
that, it's not going to
Whatever
recover.
you gave me is lots. Except light. Right? Back line.
So looking for
More, I
that
guess, if you really
same
wanted
shot.
to. Just all about making contact. I thought it was a little bit slower.
Same shot as the last one. You won't be able to get the yellow all the way out of the rings, I don't think.
I would just throw, I don't
jams
know,
on the
anything
red at
like-
the back, but you could sit 4
Just
here, and
Outside edge of that yellow.
boy, I don't know if
Back line. I think it's
Northwest Territories
it's
would
not
have a
quite as
shot to
quick in
score.
here,
It'd be
like,
tough
it's
to
not
even
as
cut them
lightning
down
as
much.
The other pass. It's
The
not
2
too
reds
slow,
that are
but it's not
open on the
lightning.
left-hand side, when they come back in the screen, are lined up to jam on the yellow at the back.
I think it's more weight than me though.
So Jocelyn, we've just watched a lot of her on TV this past month, having such a successful run at the Scotties, and then as Team Canada at the World Women's. She's curled very well.
Brett trying
Really
to get some
solid.
curl out of that stone. Going to be a little bit
Nice shot.
straighter than they would have liked, but
That weight was pretty good.
sits
actually.
4.
It was pretty good, I'd say.
And I don't know how they score here.
The last shot.
Yeah.
They're going to play the in-off on the stone and the 8-foot. That's a tough shot. They have to actually come in behind the red stone at the top of the button to
Or you just want
score.
to come this way. Throw the same weight that he just threw.
Okay.
Okay.
It's probably a little safer. It'd be real easy with that other shot. If you hit it a little thin, you just slide through the back of the 4-foot and it's a steal of 3.
I think too, even if you can't quite see the angle perfectly, but you've got that red side one that Jocelyn just threw that might just save your shooter from going out too, and maybe save a point there. But again, not your favorite position to
No,
be in
not-
on your last shot here.
Not the shot you want to have to play in the first end. Facing 4 and playing a bit of a finesse angle double. And even if you make it, it might be for a steal of 1.
So again, with this little bit of weight, this is going to have a tough time coming up to
Yep. Yep.
to the
It's
nose.
close. It's not close. I think he wants to hit it
Get
just
close,
off the
Jones.
nose. He's going to have to double the reds.
Nope.
Didn't catch quite enough of the second one. I think they had to go for the second point. It's 2 for sure,
Yep.
Bang.
Yeah. 3?
Yep.
and it's 3. So a strong opening end for Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant. They're trying to move to 3-0.
Well, a nice shot by Brett there too. The little tap bump there really put the rocks in a good position, and then Laura's the 4th rock at the end, her 3rd throw. Not getting any contact at all to disrupt that collection in the 4-foot. Certainly set up a very difficult shot there for Nick.
This goes in the back. Unless you want to do the power play.
No, definitely not.
Just a little too early for that corner guard setup.
Well, I think part of it might be due to the fact that you only get 1 power play. you didn't have a great first end, so you maybe want to feel like you have the weight down a little bit better and maybe the line a little bit better before you use it. Although we have heard stories. It was Jeff Stoughton was telling us before the event, and he's
How's the line?
one of the liaisons or in charge of this mixed doubles program now, was saying at one of the events that was held this year, one of the teams came out and during their pregame practice, all they threw was draws to the corner. They won the draw. They won the hammer in the first end, took their power play in the first end, counted 5. Because they had actually practiced the shot. They knew the line to get there. Nobody was really paying attention, noticed that's what they were doing. Of course, Jeff went on to finish the story, and I don't know who the team was, so that's why I don't mind repeating the story, because I'm not naming anybody, but he went on to finish the story and said it still went down to the last shot in the last end. I'm not sure whether they won that game or not.
Pretty hard.
It's always nice to be ahead, but it is hard to hold a lead in this format.
Well, we've really enjoyed the pace of play. It's a very dynamic game. There's no discussions are still only amongst 2 people, not 4 people on the team. And with only 5 rocks being thrown, the pace of play is quick. And it's made for some really exciting curling, some complicated shots, some finesse shots, with the added difficulty of one sweeper, no sweeper, nobody holding the broom for you, all these extra little challenges that add on to making some hard shots even have another degree of difficulty added to them. But so we've been watching the players adapt to this. Some of these teams are already into their 3rd and 4th competition, as there were some Curling Canada set up a couple of bonspiels earlier on this year to get a little bit of experience here for these mixed double curlers. The sport for us here in Canada is still relatively new.
Well, we mentioned it earlier, one draw, with getting into the Olympics and the whole process just being resolved on how they're going to qualify for the Olympics. There's only 8 teams in the Olympics. Korea, as the host, gets one of those spots. The other 7 are all up for grabs, and all of the points have started from 0. So everybody's got an equal shot as of right now. We've got 2 years to qualify. Canada's not guaranteed a spot in the Olympics. So again, that's part of the reason why Curling Canada has put a special emphasis on this. We've got 2 years to do really well to make sure that we're in the Olympics.
Well, and as we've seen at World Doubles mixed competitions, some non-traditional countries have medaled. You know, you'd expect the Swiss to get a medal, the Swedes, but you don't expect Spain to be medaling. You don't expect Hungary to be winning 2 world championships. So some countries throughout the curling associations have taken this mixed doubles discipline extraordinarily seriously and are working hard to be one of those 8 teams, not only in the Olympics, but medaling at the Olympics. But again, some of the rule changes, and we've talked about this a little bit earlier, but for those that are just possibly tuning in for their first look here at mixed doubles, 2 rocks are pre-positioned at the start of the game, and up until last year, the first rock was just behind the button, and all it took was one freeze on top, and that button was locked. Now they've moved the rock back 1 rock width, and now it takes 2 rocks to get that button covered and frozen. And that's really opened up the play. So Carrie Tarasoff, our producer-director here, bringing up some of our mixed doubles rules. So as we've seen already, we have 2 players, 5 rocks per team. You can choose whichever player you want to deliver first rock number 1, rock number 5, and which player delivers rocks 2, 3, and 4. And you may switch at any point after any end for that rotation. So all sorts of intriguing twists brought into this game.
So a quick conversation there between the Territories team, and the result of that, nothing good for them in the house. They decided that maybe better open this up, and this is the one shot that I think doesn't get played often enough in this format. People forget that, you know, you can open this up, try to give yourself a shot later. They're going to peel the guard. This one's curling, just got to get off the nose. Maybe go into plan B, try to run it back in there now, disturb something.
Okay, good shot.
The straight run-in would have been
yeah, straight run-in is
really
probably
good.
better than what they ended up with, because the shooter's still taking away 1 turn there. especially on this ice, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more peel attempts. It's to play a guard on an existing stone on ice that curls this hard is not a gimme. If you're playing for a tight guard, you throw it high, it won't have enough time to curl. Conversely, if you're playing it halfway and you end up tight to the rings, it probably over curls. It's not a gimme to throw a guard on an existing stone when they curl this hard.
Let's see the late finish there. And
yeah, and if not for the rub, you wouldn't have had the line.
well, this rock's a little closer now. They've just seen this
Yeah.
We hit
That
it
worked
here.
out pretty rosy.
peel attempt,
Hey.
but how the
pretty
possibilities, if they nose it straight in, could be very helpful. So I think this time they're going for the straight run back.
I think they have to now. They've only got the 2 stones left. If you just peel it out now, it's guaranteed steal. You need to try to break those freezes.
But it's been really nice watching the ice here at the Newtowna Curling Club in Saskatoon, where we've got cameras on both sheets 4 and 5, and we've seen some great curl on both sheets, both directions. And has that ever provided some entertaining shot making? This
Had a
one's
chance
close.
to talk to Colin
Gotta hold
Hodgson
it here.
after
No.
their game, and he was saying not only is the curl, it's so fast. They were getting 26 for a while in their game. He says it's as close as you're going to get to arena ice in a curling club, and for the most part that works for them. They're used to playing those types of rotation. They just had a bit of an off game in the game that we had them on the air earlier.
Well, still, it was interesting watching how long it took them to adjust as rock after rock after rock was going to that back 12-foot there in the third end. We kept saying it must be really quick down that place.
Well, Culpin was a little hard on himself, felt he had a bad game, but at the start of that game, and it was both teams, that was the first game that we'd seen that both teams were just locking freeze after freeze after freeze. There were no bumps, there was no stagger, they were just both teams locking everything on. It was just, it was pretty to watch. But neither team could get anything going early because everything was so locked on that you couldn't get it out.
Well, I think it's the same weight as I had.
Yeah.
Could be
Okay,
wrong.
you got room. A curl. You're coming off.
Well,
Play the tick again? Yeah.
Got more than you.
Well, had to rub again. This time still
That's
comes
like
into
top
the
4.
rings.
still, I was
Top
going to say
8.
that was top 8-foot guard weight.
You hit that anywhere. It's gonna knock one of theirs out.
Yeah, but do you want to go for 3 or give them 2? Does it really matter?
Well, we give them 1.
Yeah.
If you want to go for it.
Let's go for it.
Oh, here's a brave
Where do we-
Right here.
decision here,
We're
running
gonna
in
get
a remote corner guard.
Well, it is their only shot to score,
Yeah.
but if you don't come very
Well,
close
this
to
way
making
we
it, it's
can't
a steal of
skin
2.
them out, can we?
And actually, I think the shot Nick's looking at, it might be there if you hit
Let's
the
hit
first
this
one
one.
thin to crash the yellow at the top of the 4-foot, come back, catch the other one and spin out. That could be a steal of 4. So he's going to concede the steal of 1.
Yeah, Laura's saying, let's just stay in the game here.
Really just has to be close to the nose here, or just a little bit on the broom side. We'll drive red, red, yellow onto the red in the top of the button. The back red will go out, and it'll be a steal of 1. I don't think there's any amount of dynamite that he could use to get both of those reds out.
Yep.
So makes the hit, drives it back. The one yellow will
Knock
spill
you
out,
down.
but the stone at the
What?
back 4-foot sits for second, and
No,
it'll be a steal
he's
of
trying
1.
to cut you down.
I
got
think
a
that
little
was a
lucky with
pretty
our
good
guards
decision
getting a
for
little
the
tip
second
off.
end. If that was the 6th end and you needed the 3 points, then perhaps that's a different decision. But sometimes we say, you just take your medicine, stay in the game. There's still 6
One's
more
better
ends.
than 3.
Well, and again, we've seen some.
Do we have the choice?
We've seen a
if you
couple
want
of big
hammer or
comebacks
not?
already.
Pardon
We
me?
saw
Do we
somebody
have the choice?
have
You have the choice.
5-ender in the
Okay.
first and
Yeah,
still
you
had to
can
come
send
down
it
to the
for
end. We
Okay.
caught the tail end of a game
Offset.
the last draw with 4 3-enders and 7
I'll ask
ends.
Laura the
So
next end, see what she says.
Okay. So this will go here for now.
So he wasn't quite as quick to turn down the power play this end. But did decide to stick to the traditional center setup.
Yeah, yeah.
So Jocelyn Peterman with the first rock.
good.
She's put in some
We
very
don't
nice
get to
first
end
rocks
this thing.
already
Do you
on
want
the
to
first
pass it
two
back
ends.
to them? So we're drawing up to him.
Well, there's an interesting conversation.
No.
We talked about it earlier, the fact that you do actually have the choice when you get scored upon, and I think that was Nick mentioning to Laura, if we get scored on again, do you want to hand the hammer over and throw first?
We got one. Yeah, nice shot, Joss.
That's right. It's not automatic. It's basically, if it's your turn, you get the decision. And the decision is whether you wish to have hammer or try to go for the steal attempt and throw the first rock. So most teams, well, just about every time that I've ever watched, opt for that hammer. But there are options and advantages to throwing that very first rock and trying to get control of that button area.
And under the old rule, I would have expected it more. I'd be very surprised if somebody took that option now, but again, with the old rule, as you talked about, with it just being behind the pin, if you could make that freeze, you were in a very strong position.
That's right. You had to get there first. So where that red rock is now that Jocelyn threw, that's where it used to start. So all it took was one shot on top of that, and you controlled that end. So still struggling here with draw weight here from our
Might be a little heavy.
Northwest Territories team.
Last end you were 3-7.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's just a little heavy. Just a little heavy.
Yeah, come in this way.
So Brett just a little heavier than he would have liked to be. Didn't quite get the curl. If he gets to the face of that stone, the little bump wouldn't hurt him, but that's what happens when you are that 8 inches too heavy.
Well, and it's that level of precision that a curler like Brett Gallant is looking for. There's no doubt that that's why they have one of the best teams on the planet this year too. That's how they play the game with that Brad Gushue team, that every millimeter is important out there.
It is, especially in the 4-player game, but that's one of the issues with the mixed doubles format. You have to be able to get by with a little bit less precision. The shots just, you don't have the same sweeping. It's not going to be
like
quite
this.
the same precision. You're not going to see players playing in the 90s. The best teams in mixed doubles play in the 70s.
I'll argue that the precision is just as important, but maybe perhaps
you
more
can't expect
difficult
it,
to
yeah.
achieve it, yes. And again, as you say, the sweeping is such a major component of the game, but when you don't necessarily always have somebody in the house, you're missing a big aspect of the game that frequently you rely on watching other rocks coming down to learn and keep learning about the ice conditions. So lots of challenges thrown here, and yet the angles are still the same.
Yeah.
You still have to hit them the exact same way.
This is
just
actually
another couple degrees of difficulty.
This is actually the one team that we've seen so far that if they were going to have call all their lines from the hacks, this would be the team that I would expect it to be.
Yeah,
Because, of course, both Jocelyn and Brett
4, I
playing
guess.
second these days, they don't ever call line from the home end. They call line on their own shots, that's about it, and they call it from behind the stone. So they'd be more comfortable, actually, calling line that way.
Well, they haven't skipped since their junior days. I mean,
Way out.
Brett Gallant was, I don't know how many times to Canadian juniors. I'll just throw out the number 7. Somewhere in there that he certainly has had a lot of skipping experience. But since he's moved into the men's ranks, he's played a couple of different positions, third, but seems to have settled nicely into the second position.
Do you like the
Jocelyn also a successful junior skip curler, but settling in also at that second position, which I believe is good. It's good for curlers to learn all the various positions and the nuances that go with each, and the part of being a teammate in your various roles.
Now we just need to teach them all how to sweep with a corn broom.
What?
Oh, a little bit of that Prince
Really
Edward
tight.
Island speak coming out of Brett there. That what?
Well, we talked about it last end, how difficult it can be, at least, to throw a guard on an existing stone. Comes a little deep, over curls.
No. I thought I was okay, but
I think he's still covering a piece of that stone. It's going to make
If
it
we put it here,
tough to run anything
like,
in.
not a lot. I would agree that I might not have got it too.
then he guards it.
And then they're sitting too.
They're going to be
You
sitting
gotta
too.
open, try and
Blast this one.
maybe we can get two of them.
What turn do you want?
Straight on.
This turn?
Okay.
So Laura going down to throw yet another high degree of difficulty shot. She certainly faced
Well,
a lot
she's
of
running reds in.
double runs here already.
This is actually one time where I wouldn't mind seeing them run the angle on the yellow. Run the yellow into the red. You might get a double on the reds. At the very least, you open up the out-turn path. Right now, you can't get to the forefoot. And I'm not sure how you're going to open it up with this shot.
Well, she can certainly throw the weight. Big lift delivery there.
Yep. Yep. Roll it. Roll it over.
Makes the hit, rolls the shooter across, drives the guard through the back of the rings, doesn't make contact with anything. And
What's that?
now the two yellows at the side are overlapped.
That's right.
Just want to guard this. Josh? One thing he has come through that hole and do that. Do you want this turn even thrown, or do you want this one? You can decide.
Well, certainly very nice for the Gallant Peterman group here.
Yeah,
They've just been, how do they throw their guards? They've
What's that?
probably got to throw more guards here in 3 ends than
I think if you throw the in, I think you got to
their
get
2 games put together.
inside a little bit of the, like, yeah. I think if you, essentially, yeah, I'd say you'd have to throw here. Where are you throwing, here? I mean, I'd take there at the end.
So it is kind of fun
Should be good speed, I think.
when we were broadcasting a couple of the games
Halfway, I
from
think.
the Saskatchewan Mixed Doubles Championship. The curlers, how they were picking out their target points. They were aiming for a spot on the backboard
Take a
or
little
somebody's
off that,
left
eh?
ankle that was
Yeah.
standing on the backboards or a
It's
logo
tight, but
mark.
it's
They
good. It's all long.
starting to improvise there, but showed the importance too of picking out a
What?
target.
I
good, eh?
don't think this one's real critical. Just the way the angles are sitting for them right now. I don't know if she doesn't throw, that there's any way that they don't steal 2.
Good shot. It's perfect. Harder than you wanted to, I think. But it was,
The only real good
Looks
shot
like a
that
lightning,
the
just
Territories team had was that angle running, and not that that's a great shot, but at least it had an angle with a chance to work. And then off the last one, she rolled over and overlapped those stones. And I don't know if Nick's going to try to come down, I guess, try to get to the face of that red stone and hopefully wiggle the back one again enough to give up 1. This is a difficult shot just to give up a steal of 1.
What weight are we looking at?
Back 4.
Well, back 4 is good weight. This needs to curl, though. He's got to
It's
get
a
it
little bit stronger than back 4-foot weight here.
close to the face as he can get. This is just not going to get the curl. I'm not sure there was a shot there to actually cut them down. So it will be another steal of 2. Jocelyn Peterman, Brett Gallant jumping out to a 6-0 lead here after the 3rd end.
Yeah.
Well, the Northwest Territories team here still struggling to find that draw weight. Laura had that one really nice shot in the first end, but after, all I'm guessing is I'm not sure what ice conditions they play on back home, but I'm just guessing that's a little bit heavier than what they're seeing here, as we haven't seen any draws light on their shots, and that's always a difficult adjustment to make when you're on what I will guess at is quite different from what might be played on back home. And then too, when you're playing against a team that's just making everything also, their opposition is not cooperating for them.
No, it's always that darn opposition's fault.
No, I think it's okay.
See,
Was it nice and positive?
what's that?
I got to make my first rock.
That rock is a
I was
3-8.
going to say, I thought
His are running 3-8-5.
Really keen, hey?
it's heavy, yeah.
Well, we'll see if the Territories
A
can
little more
take
positive than last time. Good shot.
advantage of that.
Yeah, it's a little deep. It's left a little bit of angle. One thing about this Territories team, they do seem to be locked on that in turn, and try to follow that redstone down would be a lot easier from the out turn, play the same turn that they just watched, but they seem to prefer that in turn.
Ticket's not bad.
Check it out. Okay, that works.
Well, at least it's not through in the back 12 foot. That's
Brought his weight down
Yeah,
this time,
even
just
if
a little
we're
bit too
married-
much.
5. That was 3-8-5.
3-8-5, hey?
Like that would have been a perfect draw.
Yeah, I just came inside a bit.
that's right. His weight was very, very close, or at least a very good setup shot. But again, with the swing on this ice, a little bit wide is certainly a little bit better than tight.
Well, it's changed things for the
Little
setup
light.
for this end. This is the fifth stone after this, or pardon me, the third delivered stone, so 5 will be in
Top
play, but
12,
after
Jeff.
this stone, they'll be able to hit,
maybe
and
I'll leave it.
there's no center guard right now.
What's that? Oh. I think I just moved this just a shade with my foot. I think that was it.
They get just enough curl there to get that piece under the guard. If that stays open, there could be a straight back double.
Just back 4, Laura. Yep.
Just looking to move that stone the top 12 foot back behind the tee line and
Yep.
have the shooter roll over a bit.
Again, this will follow a different
Whoa.
slide path here, even with that probably back 12 foot back line weight. Laura doesn't have the same rotation as Brent and Jocelyn do. Probably there's only one turn there, 1.5. So that will follow an even swingier path
No,
than
the
the
hit.
throws that have 3 and 4 rotations.
Nose hit.
It's a pretty good result out of that now. I think Brett eyeing up the straight back double, perhaps. And if he misses it just slightly to the center line side and rolls back to the same spot, he won't be disappointed with that either.
Let me put that back just a little bit. Let's see if this curls up.
Yeah. He might have thought so too, because he quickly jumped up to sweep on the side that would make it curl.
That's right. Because you could follow that rock. It was
Set it
coming
there.
out on. Yeah, he said it. It was just coming out on that center line, and that was just such a judge. So it was coming out, and then all of a sudden,
Either
just
or,
at the end,
I
you
didn't
could
wanna
see
give him a
based on the
hole,
center
like,
line how he put
I
that
didn't
rock
roll
out, and it
and
was
give him
just
a
the
hole,
difference of not getting the direct nose hit.
Looks like he did roll just far enough that the double's not quite there.
I said
Same
no.
thing.
That's what I was doing.
But a
You don't
nice
get that signal. Everybody know what that is?
opportunity, to hit and roll over behind that yellow corner guard. Maybe get a little double there off that back 12, but I think they can. Opting here for the draw, but
Well, they're playing the same weight. She needs to hit it a little thinner. They need to roll over farther.
right. However they do it, I think they do need to remove that rock off the center line.
If we do the same thing, he's going to do the same thing.
So what do you want to do? You
I
want
don't
to draw
know.
in on top if you're thinking? I don't know if it'll get in there though.
You want to try tap ours in? That way we'll open up that side.
So back 4 weight again though?
Yeah.
Okay, not a bad call here. He's playing the, or she's going to play the angle, run in on the yellow with not big weight. If you hit this little thing, you might drive it onto that red stone at the top 12 foot. If you hit it just right, you could drive it to the button, maybe move that stone off the back of the button and stay in front of the 2 stones. And as they said, they'd open up this in-turn side for a direct path to the 4 foot, and it does seem, we've noticed already, that in-turn side is their preference. So they maybe feel a little bit more comfortable if it's open as well.
It's a little hot.
Yep.
I thought the weight was
Yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
all right.
I think
That's okay.
Nick was going for a plan B there. Thought maybe he might have been thinking they could come around that.
But again, that, you know, higher degree of difficulty with that shot as compared to just a little bit more weight. Hit that red one that's in the top 8 foot there and roll in behind that corner guard that was there. It said might have got a little action on that back, and you could have been sitting first and third.
Looking to bring one in here. This is going to have to curl to Barry. Getting some finish now. And we'll come to rest the corner of the button,
Overcurled
and
there a few times in the draw.
probably 2/3 to 3/4 undercover.
A little too much. I was a little wide actually.
So I think
No?
Flora can throw that same weight that she just did. Could be just enough to tap it back
How
that
much
little
can you
bit.
see?
She was just about to come out when Nick thought he maybe better just find out how much
I
she
didn't
can
think I
see.
was calling back for it, was that?
I can see a third. Okay.
So looking for just about hack weight here.
I didn't realize. I was thinking.
Doesn't need to get the reds out, but does need to wiggle them around a little bit, and
Oh, I like that
ideally
though, I think.
would love to keep her
it's
shooter in
like-
front of them somewhere.
I like top button too, but
And
This
this
might
is
be
a
a little
lot more than
firmer
hack
than
weight.
hack.
real nice.
Oh,
And again, goes right by everything.
I think. I don't think so, Josh. I mean, the only way it'd be. Well, I mean.
It's just too bad if she'd been a little tight to that broom
It's
with
nice,
that kind
I
of
get
weight.
right
She
into
probably
here.
would have got a really good little split double there.
But
So just surmising that maybe their club ice is just a little bit heavier than what we're seeing here at Newtown, and just, you know, the instinct of having that hack weight call and the overthrow is
Speed's
pretty
nice.
normal.
speed's nice.
Hard to trust ice that's, you know, it's really
Yeah.
that quick.
You got to be out into the or out of the 12 a little bit. You know where you head for me.
So another chance here for Jocelyn Peterman with her last stone. Again, in
Little
number
light.
4 to really
Okay.
choke off, I think, any chance to score again.
mine's good.
I think we're top.
Not sure if there's enough room to come by on the out turn and still get to the button. Maybe, if it really finishes. And brings that right down on top to sit 3.
And yet another dire set of circumstances
Well,
here
we're
for our
down to the bottom
territories
again.
team to look at on their last rock.
You'd have to hit it on the inside, wouldn't you? Or maybe not.
Nick wondering
And just
about-
looking to minimize.
yeah, once again, looking
Damages
to cut it
here.
down. Might be able to kill 2 of them.
Just might scoot out.
Yeah, if they can stay on the broom side here.
Yeah, I don't see that top one scooting out.
No, it's not going to go anywhere. It's
It's
the
hard.
2 biting the button that you're hoping will go.
Wow, and here's the thing, the shooter could go too, and yes, that middle stone, the middle red stone, probably catches the one at the back with the drag, but I don't know how thick it catches it, and if you happen to kill the Yellowstone behind it as well, you've got 2 red ones around the 12-foot. This could go all kinds of wrong.
And he's still, you know, this rock is not wide open. Has to hit what he can see.
No, I think you're going to have a hard time holding the shooter if you ever kill the yellow out of the back.
Oh, it was a really nice throw. See if it catches the line that he needs.
Makes the hit, comes back, and it will kill the yellow out of the back.
It does. Oh, dear.
And the one doesn't roll all the way out, so it looks like it'll be a steal of 4.
I don't know.
Yellow came in off the boards.
But I don't know.
That one did not come off the boards, though.
We'll pretend it did.
and nobody's sure. Everybody was watching everything else, so I think they're going to call it a steal of 3, and they'll go into the 4th end break with a 9-0 lead.
Let's give the hammer away.
No, it said 6
Okay.
Look at you, sitting there eating crisps.
They're chips.
They're crisps, and that's a killing, Tony, and you're missing it.
I'm watching it.
You should be there with your king, feeling the cold of the ice, hearing the roar of the game, and drinking the cold, cold barley nectar.
You mean beer.
Barley nectar. Now get off your duff and live it live.
Curling Canada is home to the most celebrated series of curling championships the world has to offer. You've got to live it live.
2 months premature and a heart condition. One might say I was born to overcome challenges. I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now. I have my sights set on the Olympics, and I will push hard to get there.
Before there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.
The Saskatoon Utana Club were at the Canadian Mixed Doubles National Championships. Just going through a measurement here on sheet 1. We're on our 4th end break in our feature game here. So we'll just give you a quick rundown of what's going on with some of our other games. We have 8 games on the ice here this evening. With Laura Crocker playing Jeff Walker playing against Megan St. Amand and Chris Kleboda. And the crew from Northern Ontario is up 3-1, and we haven't yet seen the results of that measurement. Sheet B, we have Rachel Holman and Mark Nichols taking on Katie Cotrill and Sean Cotrill. And that game, after that steal, it has Holman and Nichols up 3-2. Chelsea Carey, Colin Hodgson, record at 1-1, are playing Janet Murphy and Hugh Murphy. That game has Chelsea and Colin up 4-3. The team from Saskatchewan, Ashley Quick, Mike Armstrong, they are all tied at 2-2, just finishing up the 4th end against Jody Smallwood and Bob Smallwood. Sheet F, we have Lisa Weigel, John Epping having a very strong game, and they are up 7-0 over Sabrina Smith, Kyle Holland from Prince Edward Island. Over on Sheet D, we have Stephanie Lott and Steve Laycock playing Nova Scotia's Jennifer Baxter and Mark Dacey, and they are tied after 4 ends at 2-2. And our final game over on Sheet H, we have Jaylyn Cotter, Jim Cotter, tied at 2-2, just finishing off their 4th end against Jesse Kaufman and Brock Virtue. Our feature game is just getting ready to start up again here. It's been a really tough go for the Northwest Territories team, Laura Brown and Nick Kaeser, playing Jocelyn Peterman and Brent Gallant. So as a result, we are going to switch games over to sheet 4. That's the second sheet that we have direct overhead cameras on. looking at this fourth end, the Ashley Quick Mike Armstrong team throwing red stones, and this looks like Ashley's last rock. Looks like they might be sitting one. It's hard to tell who's got shot rock. There is a yellow opposition rock, 4-foot center line right in front of the button, and lots of red rocks all around that 4-foot. Ashley looking for a come around tap through the little hole that's there. Hits it perfectly, and it looks like this will be a count of about 4 anyways. We'll wait for the final assessment, but 3, 4. Really excellent finesse shot there by Ashley to what's going to break this game open. Jody Smallwood and Bob Smallwood, they are the Yukon Territory representatives. As we mentioned, there are various ways to work your way into this competition. 14 member associations each get to declare a provincial champion. That leaves 18 positions remaining for teams that qualified last year. The top 8 teams are invited back automatically. And then the rest come in on points earned through CTRS bonspiels and through other mixed doubles events. So bringing out the new laser device. Very different look than what our traditional measuring sticks have provided. So settling in there, it looks like 555. Finding it's a lot simpler to use this tool, but it certainly takes as long, if not longer, by the time they wait for that final reading to show up on the measurement. So far that yellow rock is hanging in there. And just one of the procedures that the officials always use when there are 3 rocks like that, they always start with the single colored rock. So in this case there's 1 yellow, 2 reds, just the process that they use. And I'm not quite sure yet what the final decision was on how many points were scored. So as you can see, there's our broadcaster, Sean Joyce. Instead of up here in the booth to talk away, we're relocating the microphones. Official Dennis Schuler putting up a big 4-ender there for the Quick Armstrong team. Ashley and Mike won the very first Saskatchewan Mixed Doubles Championship back in 2012, the very first year that there was a national competition, and they won it in Regina. They went on that year to the national championships, and I believe they got all the way to about the semifinals. So, and I do know this team a little bit, and I know they really enjoy their mixed doubles. Mike does curl men's, but Ashley primarily focuses her curling season on this mixed doubles competition. So we have 4 pools of 8 teams, 12 of which will make the playoffs. Carrie Tarasoff has drawn up our standings here. So Pool A, already 2 undefeated teams. The very top team from each of the 4 pools will advance to the 8s of the championship finals, while the next teams will be based on best records. So we're recognizing a lot of very familiar names from our TV curling here: Lisa Weigel, John Epping, Jocelyn Peterman, and Brett Gallant leading that pool. Pool C, 3 undefeated teams. Everyone's playing their 3rd game this evening, either on the 6:30 draw or the 9 o'clock draw. Mike and Don McEwen, Kaylin Park, Charlie Thomas, our defending Canadian champions, are at 2-0. And Nancy Martin, Caitlin Schneider from Regina are also at 2-0. Joanne Courtney, Reed Carruthers, 2-0. Emma Miskew, Ryan Fry. Marliese Kasner, fill in there for Sherry Anderson on the Dustin Keltoff team, as Dustin and Sherry had won the Saskatchewan championships. But Sherry Anderson, facing a conflict with National Senior Women's, stepped back, and Marliese was able to take her place to play with Dustin. Those are the undefeated teams in that pool. So very nicely of the players to adjust their schedule to accommodate getting new microphones put on them. Nice of the Canadian officials also here to permit this. So featuring an undefeated team in our next game coming up, our final game for the evening, Emma Miskew and Ryan Fry taking on the Porter Shoe team, Corey Shoe from Newfoundland. So very familiar with Ryan Fry because Ryan was out there for a few years there with Brad Gushu. So looking forward to that game as the Porter Shoe foursome has 1 win, 1 loss. I guess I should say twosome. Some habits are hard to break as we're getting used to mixed doubles. So it looks like they're attempting to get ready here. Back, we were reviewing some of the scores. We were waiting for a fourth end score over on sheet number 1. And St. Armand and Glabota, the Northern Ontario reps, took one against Laura Crocker, Jeff Walker, and those folks are up 4-1 playing the fifth end. Rachel Holm and Mark Nichols did steal one in the fourth end also to take a 4-2 lead in their game. So it looks like we're getting ready for the fifth end here. And as we have talked many, many times here, is a 4-end might appear as a shocker and there are only 4 ends left. How quickly the momentum can change in this mixed doubles game. With rocks already pre-positioned, with restrictions such as you can't remove a rock from play until the 4th stone rock, it certainly lends itself to a very offensive style game and very difficult to defend a lead. So it's learning to adjust your expectations out here that even though the scoreboard looks either very friendly if you're red or very unfriendly if you're yellow, this game can still be very far from over. We've seen a little bit of everything already in day 1 action out here at the Saskatoon Utana. We've seen 5-enders. We've seen teams up 5, losing games. We've seen games that have 2, 3, and 4 points scored. Sometimes you wonder if there's enough scoreboard out there to accommodate all the action out here. Jody Smallwood throwing the first stone for this team, looking to come settle in on that red one that was thrown by Ashley Quick. Just starting its late finish here. Just a little bit heavy. So this provides a nice opportunity for Mike Armstrong to nestle in. Mike has sometimes skipped, but has really settled into a leads position role in men's curling. And shots like this are just exactly what a lead is looking for. This should be their specialty. So it's been really interesting as we've discussed if this format benefits teams, the types of players that play back end, or if it's actually advantageous to be more of that front end player, as Mike comes in with a really nice shot there. Room here though for Bob Smallwood to bump a couple little rocks around here, get a little room. They certainly need to get positioned in front of those red stones to ever try to bring those yellow ones back in play. We've had quite a few games today broadcast on sheet 4, and it's been like the other sheets here that we've seen on at the Nutana Club. Provides swings both ways and has been really quick. So it looked like the weight was very close there, just a little bit tight, and bumps over that center guard, allowing Mike the opportunity to put another guard up here. It certainly opened up the opportunity, though, for the double if Mike doesn't get this guard on. So not the absolute worst outcome.
Check, 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 check.
Oh, the other guys, this is the other guys.
So Ashley saying the line's good. So it looks like it's just going to come in. Tight guard on the center line certainly takes away that double right off the bat here.
What's that?
Probably looking to run this rock straight in and see what they can do to move some red rocks around, open up a little room. Or draw one in and set that up for the next shot.
What are Carling's obscenities? Those obscenities you're not allowed to use? George Carling?
Jesus Christ.
Some of those ones are okay.
That's
a nasty one.
Yeah,
That's a big
can't
fine,
say a
isn't
law.
Again, usually when the houses get this complicated this early, there are always 2 or 3 different options. So playing to your team's strengths and the shots that you like to play. Bob's weight was really close on that last one. I think they've opened up the broom just a little bit to get around that guard that Mike Armstrong just threw. Looks like he has just a little bit more weight also.
I guess so.
Well, 6, 7, and 8 are left.
Starting now just to catch its curl. Just needs to move up just a little bit to be good, but not bad. But they're going to look to put a guard on this one, save any possible slash on the red one or the yellow one that was just thrown. So welcome back. Sean, have you caught your breath yet? That was a long run up these stairs.
Well, it was a long run, although I had to wait for a while. We had to wait for a game to finish up an end so we could make a mic switch. So we'll finish up this end here and then turn our attention right next door onto sheet 3.
So you were just down there watching that measurement. How many were they measuring for? Were they measuring for 5 at all, or was it?
No, that was for the
for
third
the 4?
and fourth one they were measuring for.
So Mike throwing a really nice guard there. A little skinny. So if you can come to the nose on this, drive it past that red guard that's on the center line, get some action on the yellow rays. But still, when you're down 4 points, this is trying to get back into the game.
Yeah,
higher degree of difficulty.
Isn't the shot you want to be playing for sure. You know, they were that last end, they were within a whisker of making a great shot with their last one. Could have held them to one, bumped. Left enough separation that gave them the chance to make the tap through, and Ashley Quick made a great shot with her final one.
Oh, that was so nicely thrown. That was she didn't have a lot of room for error on that shot, and she just nailed it. Looks like the double peel here.
Well, and that might be better than what he was calling. I'm not sure. I don't think he could get that into the middle to kill both reds, and you'd have left everything guarded.
And he came so close to just about getting some pinball action off that side yellow one. It just, the red one that was run in on, just missed this top yellow on the left side there. That could have got something going too.
Basically a chance here for Ashley. She can just come down, come to the inside of that yellow stone, nudge it back about 6 inches, kind of sit in the pocket that she'll create. Could be very tough for the Yukon team to score here. So looking for the out turn draw here. Has to get to the inside of the yellow. If she stays on the outside, it actually may cue something up. So switching brushing sides now, trying to get this to curl. It's still a long ways out there. Might be well short. Might end up just getting a guard out of this too. That's not a terrible result. Well, it does get the guard.
From this angle, it still doesn't look like there's anything through the port.
It's either the skinny in off on the yellow or slash it in.
Or run in the red one that was just thrown.
You could run the yellow one or the red into that yellow. If you could drive that yellow into the pocket of the two reds, so they could get their 4 right back. Well, probably only 3. I think one of the yellows at the back gets spilled.
But at least you've got a little bit of room to work with on that front red corner guard run in, as compared to, say, that skinny tick off the yellow side into that pocket area. That's a very small portion of that yellow stone that you can hit. So calling a timeout.
Either way, whether you try to play it as a slash or the in off, it's thin either way, one side of the stone or the other.
So I think with this red run in, you've got 2 or 3 places that you can actually hit this yellow and at least get some success. So again, not familiar with these players, and you're always trying to play a shot that works towards your strengths.
Well, I think these two teams are familiar with each other. I think the Smallwoods, I know they played in it last year, and I think the year before as well. And of course, Mike and Ashley have been at it every year it's been held.
So just discussing, basically it's a pick your poison on this shot. There are 3 options here, and they're all extraordinarily precise and difficult. Always more comfortable running your own yellow into a pile. It's always more dangerous running an opposition rock in, but
well, and the trade-off you get is it's a thin piece of the stone, but it's shorter distance between them. The long run back has to be so precise.
At least the longer run back, it's virtually a nose hit. Not quite, but at least you're just coming into it. It just feels like a more natural shot than, looking for that little corner of a round rock. Pretty much playing to miss your yellow to make the shot versus nose hit on the red.
Now, when there's that much distance, if you're half an inch off the nose hit either way, you don't get anything good. So I think they're playing on the yellow, but again, not sure whether they decided to play it as a slash or an in-off. Looks like the slash.
And very close. Oh, just
a little thick. And it will be another steal of 2.
For an 8-2 lead for Ashley Quick and Mike Armstrong.
And so we will turn our attention right next door onto sheet number 3.
3 right now, 2/3.
Okay, hard line, yep.
2.
Gotta hold it! Over curling!
This game featuring 2 teams that are both 1-1 on day 1 action here. Chelsea Carey, Colin Hodgson playing Janet Murphy and Hugh Murphy.
And playing a very tight back and forth game.
Well, we have 4 very strong curlers on this ice. Murphy's with lots of experience in this format.
Now we pray.
I think this is the first year Chelsea and Colin have played together.
Yes.
It does have a G, yep.
We featured the Murphy game this morning when they were playing, and you could certainly see that experience that they had amongst themselves,
Doesn't really change
just in
anything
how
from
quick
that
some
one.
of the communication
Yep.
calls were.
Well, they were semi-finalists last year.
And they just kind of had that one bad end. Going away there about the fifth end,
Only for 2.
Janet was hitting to sit about 3, but it just over curled and
It's always
or didn't curl up quite enough, and they didn't get a very good result. And Hugh goes, no, not that shot. Then he had the chance to
Yeah, I
save
remember that now.
the red's gonna move.
that end with the draw, and he was a little bit heavy, and he's going, no, not that shot either. So that one really turned around their morning game.
How can you remember that? If it wasn't that 3 days ago now?
Feels like it, that's for sure.
It's been a long day. Well, and a chance here, big shot. If he can absolutely nail this run back. Could be for as many as 3.
Hurry, Jan, hard! Save it, save it. Save it.
That's code
Just over
for
curled on
never
him.
mind.
One yellow.
It's going to be a steal of 1, and Chelsea Carey and Colin Hudson will take a 6-4 lead into the 7th end.
Keep him to 2. Keep him to 2 now.
Was it Colin that was quite worried that they were going to be...
Well, he said they were going to have to pray. They knew that run back was going to be there, but they had to guard the open
That
shot.
moved a lot. That's my fault. I should have just taken more ice. Well,
Now, of course, we haven't been featuring this game, so I'm not sure if they've used their power play yet.
yeah, let's. Those are always fun, aren't they?
Intern.
What's that? Let's go to the interns. You like that?
So I think they are going to use it here. Of course,
Power play.
only
Power
makes
play.
sense if you haven't used it yet, because if you blank this end,
Sure.
you lose the hammer anyway. So not likely to have the hammer in the last end. Of course, and the only time you can use it, you have to have the hammer in that end. So this may well be their last opportunity.
We gave him a steal 2 last time we tried the power play in 7. Oh well.
To say, commented probably just about every draw. It's a lonely sport out there. There are only 4 people. 2 of them are your opposition. Who else do you have to talk to?
Well, we get 2 options.
So we've really enjoyed the comments between the teams. You don't normally get that kind of kibitzing available because you've got 3 of your own teammates to talk to after an end.
Agreed.
Particularly in women's curling, they all tend to, meet at the hog line for their group meeting after every end. So very little interaction with the opposition, but here there is no choice.
So last game it was what? 3 feet heavier? 5 feet?
Yeah, probably 5.
Okay.
I'm thinking I want to think 5 because tap's better than like.
Let's
light's
trust that it's gonna curl
Yeah,
too.
light's a disaster.
So you think center line?
I'm thinking like edge of the left hat, like just outside center.
So right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You like that?
So again, as we had talked earlier, how curlers in the hack find their mark. It's not the broom anymore because the broom holder's down getting ready to sweep.
Quite a bit
So in
harder.
this case, left hack is the target.
It's okay.
Yep.
That was
Yep. Line's great. Room. Room. Gotta go to it. Curl, 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 curl.
So we saw this once earlier from a team trying to play defensively on this situation. Play that chase rock to try to get it into a position to maybe be able to raise
like
it
that.
later
I think that's
later
a great
on, take
spot.
away the corner guard.
10 feet heavier though. Like that's way
For sure, you
heavier.
fired
Like,
it,
I
yeah.
threw that really hard.
I think that's a really good spot.
I think you want to be shot.
I think you want to make it so, well,
Sure,
you can,
yeah,
but then
that's
we
good.
can
I'm good
tap
with that.
and then,
I know, yeah, but you got a big top. Like it's.
but then
Yeah.
we get 2 guards. Like,
I think.
if you're heavy beside it is really bad.
I
You're
agree.
freezing it.
Well, they can discuss it all they like, but it's not moving anymore.
Yeah.
It's stuck there.
Okay, ready? Back
So
8
looking to
foot.
come around that Yellowstone that was just delivered.
Yeah, line.
Yeah, we heard Chelsea talk about how heavy it was there. Maybe caught Hugh off guard too. He was looking for back 8 and
would have just sort of had T-line there.
chipping that Yellowstone over. Not the worst thing for them though.
Could be worse.
No, that's for sure. And if you're wondering why Chelsea's not going up to hit that red rock, she can't.
Can't hit it just yet.
And then again, that's why these ends get so complicated, so messy very easily.
Room.
When you have to leave
Heavy
rocks
kick
in
it,
play.
Whoa!
Looking for a little chip to try to sit on the angle there and catch. Shot rock, a little spin in there, that might have helped them.
Thought he threw about 10 feet more and it just ran.
Yeah.
But now we're at the 4th delivered stone of the end. They could play a hit now, and boy, I think there's a double available on the yellows. They'd be sitting 3.
This roll here.
He thinks they can hit and roll under that yellow. Maybe can. We don't have direct camera access to the sheet that we're on now, so it's hard to tell how far behind that stone it is.
And again, we can't quite see John, but doesn't, he always sweeps with his gripper, so he'll hold the broom for Janet, and then as soon as she's done releasing, he'll kind of wander down, pick the rock up halfway, which makes a nice shot there.
So it is red sitting 3 right now.
And some separation between those two rocks on the T-line there.
Well, and even this double attempt is not a gimme. You hit this too thin, it rubs the yellow and goes straight back, doesn't make contact with the other stone.
So Colin Hodgson lead on the Reed Carruthers team.
No, never.
This is not his everyday shot that you play in that position.
Well, it doesn't touch the yellow, but jams onto the other stone, and maybe worse yet, stays in behind cover.
But again, that's part of the appeal of this discipline, is that as a position player, as a lead, where you're primarily throwing draws and perhaps some open hits, the odd wick and tick, that now it's exciting. Now you're playing shots that you're normally only just sweeping for on a team, and you get a chance to expand your own shot making.
Well, they were looking to corner freeze their own. This is going to come by with too much room, so now you need to be back enough to not leave a double.
Be nice to be able to stay for third shot, though.
That actually might be a better spot than where they called for it.
Just double.
I would have been scared to leave a double playing the corner freeze.
Well, now it's, do they make the play on this one in the 4-foot. Really good shot here by Colin. You can take away all 3 shots, or all 3 red rocks here by remaining on top of second shot there at the back.
You'll be behind the corner, behind the tee line. I don't think the Murphys will be upset by that at all. This is not the end Chelsea and Colin had in mind. Makes the hit.
Going
now
right in between.
Hit it just as wrong as you could hit it a little bit thinner. At least he makes the double.
Yep, there were 3 different ways to make that shot. So much better rolling over there that.
You got to make the roll perfect. You make the double.
And here's the veteran move, the call that we had in an earlier game a team didn't make when they had the chance. Hugh Murphy, no hesitation. Play this to the open side. Shot rock in the 8-foot. You've got the 2 buried on that side already. Make them play this stone, and you're going to have a chance for 3.
So again, I'm really enjoying it. So John's in the house. He taps, puts the broom down. Then he just kind of strolls out. Janet's already throwing. But as they've shown also too on the studies, Janet throws a great shot here. The most impact your sweeping does on distance happens in the last 10 seconds as the weight is coming off. So John, knowing that, says, well, I'll just pick the rock up halfway down and
This is not that bad. Like, they can
make
roll
the most
too, right?
impact
Just
on
like
the
the
sweeping.
But I think I have to throw the intern to have a chance at it.
Yeah, I mean, if they go crazy and freeze on something, I'd rather be fully shot with that thing.
Did I call him John again?
4 or 5 times.
4 times. Thankfully, he at least said his dad's name is John.
And I think his middle name is John.
Well, I'm going to go change the program so that I'm correct. Either way, I'm still enjoying his sweeping style.
Big press.
Well, and I think they called a very good end here, and they're going to be rewarded with a chance for 3.
I'll catch the red stone.
Chelsea's rock is
Good. Good shot.
Makes
not
the hit,
curling
stays
over.
right there. It is, if it's either shot or second shot, so they're going to have to make a play on it.
That's good. We stick it. We still have our power play, which is nice. Should be able to get 2 with that bad boy.
Maybe I'll just stick with surnames here with this team.
All right, take out.
Yeah, I think he was telling us that it was. I think it was after their draw. You don't even have to. You just go Murph.
throw an 8.
Murph with
Murph.
them. Yeah.
That's right.
8 and 8.
I know. Just throw whatever you need. You throwing the in or the out?
I think I'm going to throw the out.
Pretty. Yeah. Oh.
What's that? Okay with that?
Yeah. I just don't know. Have any idea what it's doing with the
Oh,
out.
for the in then. It curls.
There we go.
I can understand why he wanted to throw the out. You've got
Okay,
all
whoa,
kinds
whoa,
of
whoa.
room to roll
Gotta curl.
towards the center. You
Whoa, it's gotta curl, it's
don't
gotta
have
curl.
much room to curl if you
Whoa,
hit this on the
whoa.
outside.
You just saw
Well, it's all
Chelsea's
good.
shot come
It's all
down here,
good.
and it didn't move up at all. But he's just thrown really nice working weight.
Does get across the nose, rolls to the forefoot. It will be 3 points. Outstanding use of their power play. They take the lead coming home, and I think we heard Colin and Chelsea talking. They haven't used theirs yet, so they'll be able to use it
job.
here.
Heavens! You guys would be setting stones up all day if he made you guys do it. Yeah. Oh, well, there is that.
Q talking to one of the officials down there. I believe they do have to check in with the officials to indicate that they are doing that power play, so that they get the tick mark there, right beside where they
You guys
have the
hams,
mark
so
there
we're-
for
you're a
timeouts.
Power play.
All one left.
That's it, eh? I'll let you do it, doll.
Colin brought the dead stone down from the other end, thinking that you'd be doing them a favor, and that only works if you don't end up in an extra end here. Then you got to take it back down to the other end.
It sounds so hockey, power play.
Yeah. I think there should be
Is it
penalties
good?
involved as well.
Yeah.
2 minutes for
Yeah, you should be able to put one of your oppositions in the penalty box, or like one of their stones in the penalty box is the real power play.
Well, we've seen a
Right,
few different
pitch.
ways where teams have
pitch.
tried to
Here we
defend
go.
this. And again, the one that I heard talked about most often last night from teams when they were talking about this was the center guard. We've only seen it thrown or attempted once, and it came into the rings.
So seeing the
Whoa, it's crossing it.
raise here on the red, trying for the angle
Whoa.
raise.
Might get the tick and bring a shooter in. Oh, just comes by. Maybe
So
shouldn't have woed quite so much on that.
Well, already with that.
It's just, it's heavy out there.
Yeah. Well, I think the weight would have been.
You can't hit it.
Like just freeze to it?
No, it's
think
I need
so.
to throw, well, clearly, I had to throw more weight.
Or do you go open side and spread them out because they can't hit it. Then they
Jeepers.
freeze.
I
But
think
then
we just freeze to it.
I threw it at the line I wanted to. Yikes.
the R's are theirs.
So already a
Yeah.
nice setup here for
Yep.
Chelsea and Colin. You know, and then again, to be fair on how that 3-under was set up for the Murphy team, was throwing rocks into the rings early in the end. You can't hit them.
Line 2, line 2.
So it's not that people are missing shots.
Really light.
They're
Yeah,
just shots that
you have
are
to.
not available to play.
Really light.
Okay.
All you got, all you got, all you got.
Now she was looking to play the freeze here. This is going to come up well short.
Okay.
It is in the 12 foot, so sitting second and third.
Might be really good. I don't know.
The Murphys can't hit
Might be
yet.
good, I don't know.
See in about 15 minutes.
And that'd be a tough double, even when they could.
All
It's
right.
liable to come back into the middle.
Tuck it around theirs.
That kick with like a nice positive throw is probably not to it, but it's like back for it.
Either one. Actually, I'd almost
I'll
prefer you
throw.
to freeze to the one behind the guard.
Either make a double or tap
That's
it.
scary
or-
stuff, but scary times. It's all for scary measures.
So I think they opted for the freeze on the stone in the corner of the 8-foot.
7 seems right.
Talked about coming around the yellow too, but you could very well end up leaving a double on the reds. Got to curl just a little bit yet to get off the stone that was just delivered. And we'll chip off that stone. So it's still yellow sitting second
we
and
split
third.
it.
Shot rock that red at the back of the 8-foot.
Yeah.
What a brutal,
I think so.
brutal start to an end.
It's the exact
Maybe a little
opposite
more,
of
yeah.
the start of their 7th end. So exchanging the favor here.
Line's close, a little bit for line. Yep.
Again, with both
Yep,
teams at
line.
1-1, you know, they'd certainly like to finish off their day with a 2-1
Line, you gotta
record.
go.
Not that 2
Free
losses has you eliminated by any stretch, but it certainly puts the pressure on early in the week for you.
Well, and you'd like to avoid 3. For 3 to get you into the playoffs, you're going to have to play through some tiebreakers. And they're playing 3 games a day today and tomorrow, and the final games of the round robin are Saturday morning, and then the tiebreakers are scheduled for that afternoon. The quarterfinals go, or pardon me, the round of 16 goes that night.
Could be into a 4-game day.
You'd like to have a couple of couple of draws off Saturday afternoon if you could.
But not permanently
Just a
off,
Yeah.
as in you don't get to play on Sunday off.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll give them a double. It'll give them a double, but yeah, I would be out.
So looking to hit the shot stone here.
Whoa! Hugh! Get up!
Makes the hit, stays right there. Hugh said it would leave a double, but it's not going to be an easy double.
Yeah, I think so. Just stick it no matter what. Thinking like bump.
Yeah, okay.
So they're going to look just to play the hit and roll over there. Again, they could be first, third, and fourth after this, and there's still time to get the deuce.
Oh, curl, curl, curl.
It's been pretty straight down this path. We saw that too going away in the 7th end.
I wanted to get some roll over towards that red stone. It'll be just a nose hit.
That certainly wasn't overthrown. That was a nice weight that
Same thing.
Chelsea had.
It'll be interesting to see the call if they nose this again. Because now if you hit and roll in front,
flop
there's
a
going to be
foot to
room
the
to
right,
pass this by that
or
stone
you
and
can flop a
possibly
foot to the
roll
right,
under cover.
Or you can flop 5 feet to the left. You can flop it. You can speak it. It's fine. You say, okay, slow this up. The further we come up, the greater the likelihood they'll have an angle hit. If you can hit it and roll a foot to the right, I'm happy. Yeah, that's my call.
See, it's important. He's come all the way down now instead of meeting.
Well, this one's a little bit that it's not just the hit that matters, it's where you end up. Again, yellow right now is still sitting third and fourth. You leave a double, it would be to sit at least 2, maybe 3 if you can hold the shooter.
Janet's brought her weight down just a little bit here.
Well, and this is the one thing they didn't want to do. They rolled towards that center line, and now it's just an off-nose hit, maybe 3/4.
Gotta be a little less weight though. I think we play that.
Okay.
Just quiet ball. Oh.
Here?
Yeah, have to play because we gotta stick the shooter.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay.
A little less weight than the last time.
Even with a nose hit there, that there would be no chance to make the double and stay. Colin's got the right idea here. There's room to make both. Make the double and keep your shooter to sit 3.
Yep.
Well, even if he overcurls it here, he still can come out with a really good result, but must be really close to.
Catch it. Go.
Just touches it a little
That's
bit.
pretty good.
Enough to sit 2.
2 for sure.
Whoa. If you ever just for sure sit 3, it's for fun now.
Oh, I know. That's
I
how we
think
get.
they're just.
I just
third.
I just didn't want to nut it, so I was a little careful
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah,
all
not
we've
it's a
got, isn't it?
disaster. I think it's good now.
Right, like I was just a little cautious with the line.
So
to
the
make
hit
sure we
and
were
roll
getting
to
second shots, nutting it.
save the game here for the Murphys.
Yep.
Somewhere.
All right.
Just when we're sort of learning to count rocks at the back of the house there, Colin
Yeah,
taking
Colin
down one of
brought
the
the other one
stationary
down, so
rocks,
this
you
is-
go,
This is the last stone. They've got to make a good one
Long
here.
roll, eh? The leg? Okay, I'll tighten that down almost to the edge of the stone then.
Yeah, well, just think about how wide for my own turn.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. I'm throwing a bit more weight than you, though. Okay.
Just looking to make the hit and roll here, but one of the reasons they're throwing the extra weight is you got to get a fairly flat roll. The deeper you roll in the house, the more opportunity you leave Chelsea Carey. It's just a little too flat to try the double. Don't think it's there.
Nope, 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 not at all. Not at all.
That's not a good sound.
Not at all. Not at all. No, make it curl. No, make it curl. Curl hard. Hard roll. Hard roll.
Makes the hit.
Not
Now
that
where's the roll
hard.
going to end up?
Not
not that hard.
Oh, I think just that hard's perfect, Hugh. He couldn't have made that any better. Stopped just in time to be shot rock.
I think
I was thinking control, but like
For Chelsea to play the shot for the win, she's going to have to play the
You can
yellow
miss with
run
control
back.
by hitting it high, but if you throw hack,
What's
you
up?
can't miss
yeah,
it.
then it's
So
coming off this for
Hugh,
one.
John Murphy came up with a
Bumper, like good hack.
shot here that's putting a lot of pressure on
I think out.
Chelsea.
I think the out we know. I don't know what the out is going to do, but I think we know the end.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Do you like edge or rock with the end?
I do.
They're talking hack weight, so they do have a couple of options with hack weight.
Oh, I
They
thought that was
have a
wrong.
couple of options where they could at least still get one
He's saying
and live to play an extra end.
I'm like, what is wrong here? Why do I have the 6 rock?
Oh, did I throw your rock? Oh, well, it's a good rock. Sorry, Chelsea. It's a good rock. That was my favorite out of my 3, so.
Okay, well that's good.
Okay.
Well, I guess you better trust it that this is a
I
good
think
stone.
solid hack, just edge, yeah.
Chelsea Carey with
Wait.
her final stone, looking for the hack weight tap back.
Yep.
Onto shot stone, and this one's curling early.
Oh,
I don't know whether it picked. I don't know if she's got contact with the stone at all. As long as she hits it, there still could be a score of 1. Not sure if that picked or what happened to it, but it will slide by, and the Murphys
What we expected it to do.
pick up a steal of 1, and they pick up the victory here over Chelsea Carey and Colin Hodgson. The Murphys move to 2 and 1. Carey and Hudson drop to 1 and 2.
yeah, we haven't heard any indication from Chelsea or Colin what happened on that.
Well,
Like how he
just the
threw it
way it
through.
was a sudden sweep call made me think that
games
may
are
have
low,
picked a little bit early. So just finishing up on sheet 1, and I think that leaves just sheet 8 to finish.
Good roll. Don't know why that roll.
Sheet 7 still seems to be a go also,
Oh, yeah.
where
They're-
Steve Laycock and Stephanie Lawton need to steal 2 to try to force the extra end against Mark Dacey and Jen Baxter.
I think it's
And
just the last stone left to come there, and
yellow is sitting
they're sitting 2.
2. One is wide. Second shot is wide open.
Yeah, there are no guards. Yeah, the situation on 7 is they need to steal a 2. The situation on 8 is they need to score 2 with last rock. So there you can see them side by side. There are rocks in the forefoot on both of them. Mark Dacey about to throw his final stone. Just needs to make one of the yellows go away, and I think what they decided is the easiest way to do it, because there's a jam possibility if he plays directly onto the yellows. He's going to play the angle on the red, and if he hits either one of those 2 yellows, it'll go out the side. And just the way he drew it up, kills the 1, actually spins it in enough to get shot rock. So Dacey and Baxter will pick up the victory there.
Timeout on sheet 8 as Jim and Jaylyn Cotter.
Well, Brock Virtue just threw a bullet down there, and I don't think that worked out exactly the way he had planned, as the only 2 stones remaining afterwards belong to the opposition.
That's right. So the Cotters are red rocks. They are down 2 with hammer. Jim Cotter and his daughter Jaylyn.
And the shots are, I guess it would be second shot stone, but at the top of the top corner of the forefoot is actually under cover. The one at the back forefoot is open. So really right now, Jim and Jaylyn just looking for a place where they can put this where they don't leave a double. If there's no double available off this stone, they should have a chance to score their 3.
And both these teams have a 1-1 record. So a crucial game here. So outturn draw to split the ring, spread these red rocks out.
Not just split, he's going to want to keep them. I would imagine it's the back one he wants to stay fairly even with. I don't think the one at the front forefoot is accessible from either turn.
No, it looks like it's behind the corner guard.
So it's the back 2, or this one and the back one, that he's got to avoid leaving a double. When it comes to rest in the 8 foot, you can see from that angle that the double onto the back one would be very thin, and the double onto the top one would be really thick. That's going to be a tough one as well. They don't have mics on the players, and they didn't give a lot of indication. They might be a little tight for time rushing down to the other end. Not sure whether they're going to try the thin double or if they're actually playing they could be playing the freeze onto the back stone. Actually, they might even just play the hit and roll off that stone that was just delivered as well. Try to roll in front of that stone. You roll to the top of the button. They would have to make a play on it. Definitely playing a hit, and definitely playing the hit on the stone that was just delivered. Nothing out of the brush so far.
Here it comes.
Oh, it just slides by it. They were looking for the thin double. Waited a little too long to pick up the sweep, and without throwing their final stone, the Cotters will pick up 3, and they pick up the victory here. Team BC. And that concludes all of the games here in draw number 5. We'll do a quick recap on the scores. All the games here. Sheet 1, and the ice crew already getting it ready for the next draw, so they've got the name boards down already. It was Jeff Walker and Laura Crocker picking up a 7-4 victory over Megan St. Amand and Chris Glabota. So Crocker and Walker moved to 3-0. Rachel Homan and Mark Nichols, a 9-3 victory over Sean and Katie Cottrell. And Homan and Nichols moved to 3-0. You saw tail end of the game, Janet Murphy picking up the 8-6 victory over Chelsea Carey and Colin Hodgson. So they move to 2-1. Mike Armstrong, Ashley Quick with a big 4-ender in the fourth. Go on to a 9-2 victory over Bob and Jody Smallwood. The game we started with, Jocelyn Peterman and Brent Gallant had just an outstanding game. Laura Brown and Nick Kaeser just couldn't get anything going, and it was a 13-1 final in 6 ends. John Epping and Lisa Weigel pick up a 7-6 victory over Sabrina Smith and Kyle Holland. That's Team Prince Edward Island. You saw the last shot, Jennifer Baxter and Mark Dacey picking up the 6-3 victory over Stephanie Lawton and Steve Laycock. And again, saw the final 2 shots there. Jim Cotter and Jalen Cotter, father-daughter team, one of the 2 father-daughter teams that I'm aware of here anyway, pick up the 6-5 victory over Jesse Kaufman and Brock Virtue, and that brings to a wrap draw number 5. We'll be back at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time for draw number 6. Emma Miskew and Ryan Fry will be playing against Porter and Shue. Join us at 9 o'clock.